All right, let's dive in. Today, we're tackling a real beast of the GCSE English Language Paper 2, the 8-mark Question 2. Seriously, this is the question that can make or break your final grade, and in this explainer, we're going to show you exactly how to nail it for maximum marks.
Does this look familiar? You feel like you're doing everything right. You're finding the differences, you're writing your points, but your mark just hits a wall at 4, maybe 5 out of 8. It's probably one of the most common frustrations, and honestly, it's often the one thing holding a good grade back from being a truly great one.
But hey, don't sweat it. We've got a roadmap. In this explainer, we're going to walk through 5 clear steps. First, we'll get to grips with why this question is such a hurdle. Then, we'll decode what the examiner's really looking for. After that, we'll climb something I called the synthesis ladder, build a perfect paragraph together, and finish with the absolute must-dos for that grade 9.
So, what's the big deal with this question? Well, it's been designed very cleverly to do one specific thing, to separate the students who can just list facts from those who can actually connect ideas and think deeply. Just pointing out differences, well, that's going to keep you on the ground floor.
The classic 4 out of 8, 50%. This is where so many students get stuck. We call it the level 2 trap. It happens when your answer is basically just a summary. It shows the examiner, yep, I've read the texts, but it doesn't show them that you've analyzed the relationship between them.
So, how do we escape that trap? We have to get inside the examiner's head. And the key that unlocks the whole thing is one single word: synthesis. If you can understand what this really means, you are already halfway to getting full marks.
Okay, here it is. This is the golden rule. Synthesis is not about writing a bit about source A and then writing a bit about source B. No, it's about weaving them together. Think of it like an integrated comparison. You're linking ideas from both sources inside the very same sentence using those all-important connecting words.
And look, this isn't just me giving you some friendly advice. This is literally written into the mark scheme. Assessment Objective 1, AO1, explicitly tells you to select and synthesize. The examiner has a checklist in front of them, and if you're not synthesizing, you are physically stopping them from ticking that top-level box.
Okay, theory's great, but how do we actually do this in an exam? Let's picture it. We're going to climb the synthesis ladder, moving rung by rung from a basic kind of meh answer to one that absolutely screams top marks.
Right, here we are at the bottom, rung 1. This is just a list. You've spotted a difference, which is a start, but the points are totally separate. Source A says this, full stop. Source B says that, full stop. That is a classic level 2 answer, and it will never get more than 4 marks. Why? Because there's no connection, no synthesis.
Now let's take one small step up the ladder. We take those 2 separate ideas and we just link them. We use one magic ingredient, a comparative conjunction, a word like whereas or in contrast. See how that one word builds a bridge between the 2 ideas? Just by doing that, you've elevated your answer to level 3, and you're now in the 5 to 6 mark zone. You are officially synthesizing.
And here it is, the top rung, the game changer. This is the leap to level 4. It's called inference. A grade 9 answer doesn't just say what is different, it explains why the difference is there in the first place. This is where you show your thinking beyond the page, and this is what unlocks those top 7 or 8 marks. Okay, let's put this all together and see how this ladder builds a perfect full-mark paragraph. We're going to use the real exam texts from the June 2023 paper, all about 2 incredibly different train journeys.
Wow. I mean, you can't get much more different than that, can you? In source A, Fleming, writing in 1933, is just over it. The journey is so boring that the train feels like a prison. But then you've got Kemble, writing over 100 years earlier, and she is totally captivated. For her, this thing is a magical machine. So, one writer feels trapped, the other feels completely liberated.
And this right here, this is the question you have to burn into your brain for the exam. It's not enough to just say one's negative and one's positive. We have to dig deeper. Why do 2 people looking at basically the same technology have such wildly different reactions?
The whole answer is in the context. You see, Fleming, in 1933, is bored out of his mind. Trains are just normal by then, and he's been stuck on one for days. To him, it's a nuisance. But Kemble, back in 1830, she's on one of the first steam trains ever. It's a brand new, revolutionary invention. For her, it's a novelty. So the inference, the big why, is that their perspectives are completely shaped by their historical context and personal experience. And here is what all of that looks like, packed into one perfect perceptive sentence. Just look at the structure. It starts with a linking word, whereas. It weaves in short quotes from both texts. And then the killer move. It ends with the inference, the why, explaining how context shapes everything. That is a full mark, level 4 point. In the exam, your aim is to write 2, maybe 3 points of this quality. It's all about quality over quantity.
Okay, let's boil this all down. To wrap up, let's lock in the absolute must-dos. Think of this as your cheat sheet for the exam room to make sure you get a top grade on this question.
So here's your final checklist. 1. Always link points in one sentence using those comparative words. But that just gets you in the game. To win the game, you have to go beyond the obvious and explain the reason for the differences. And remember, that perceptive inference, it isn't a bonus. It is mandatory for level 4. Linking will get you a pass, inference will get you a grade 9.
So now, it's over to you. The next time you sit down to practice this question, don't just stop when you found a difference. Push yourself to ask that crucial question, why? Focus on turning a simple comparison into a perceptive analysis. That right there is the key to unlocking your absolute best performance.